This is Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century. Greetings, family, and welcome to another wonderful infotainment edition of The Art of It Stinks. I'm your host for this empowerment segment, as always, Brother Ron, also known as R2C2H2, The Art of It. And this is the We All Be movement, because we all be in it to win it. Well, I just want to share my thoughts quick and short, about Zack TV, the brother known as Zack TV, Zack Stoner, up in Chicago. What some of y'all may call Chirac, because of the high body count up there. It's not even summer yet in 2018. And you can tell in the shy, it's going to be a long, hot one. God forbid, may God have mercy. But Zack TV, I didn't really know that much about the man while he was alive. Dr. Short he informed me of this brother that we lost, on May 30th. Early May 30th, he was driving home from a rap concert, and he was killed in the drive-by. And what was strange for me was the fact that his killers were caught leaving the scene. I guess it was a drone or something. It's weird how they got footage of this, but there's no footage of people hanging themselves and calling it suicide. But that's another story. It's funny how it seems kind of strange, surreal looking at that from that high point. Somebody, I guess, was in the high rise. They had a camera or they had a drone or something, and they showed the last moments of Zack Stoner's life. Or maybe he was already dead, but these guys jumping out of the car and getting into another car and driving out. So, with that said, my understanding is researching him that he was very influential in the Chicago rap scene. He was a very gifted journalist and communicator. He actually highlighted many Chicago rappers, artists. He went to places, parts unknown in Chicago where nobody else would dare to go in the so-called mainstream media. He provided a platform to offer a counter narrative to what they were saying about Chicago at the local and national levels. I mean, the guy had a reach. His YouTube channel had over 150,000 subscribers. He had a presence on other platforms and social media, but the guy was a influencer and a tastemaker. And, he also provided, like I said, a powerful voice for those marginalized in this white mediocrity system. I don't call it white supremacy. It's white mediocrity. It's nothing supreme about it. Y'all keep on trying to empower these folks thinking they high and mighty, but here you had somebody like Zack Stoner, Zack TV. He said, I'm going to manifest my own reality. I'm going to paint the pictures, and I'm going to show the world a different viewpoint, a different reality than what they're used to engaging and seeing. So I honor him, my comrade in spirit. Now, I don't know the man personally. I never met him. I just really found out about him after he died. But just looking at his amazing, prolific work, he had a work ethic. He had a vision. He had charisma, he had wisdom, he had understanding, and he was really there for his people from what I can see. Now, people have accused him of being a part in the Kanika Jones murder conspiracy. My understanding that he had provided a very important opportunity for people to learn more about what may have or may not have happened to Sister Kanika Jones this past September. I mean, he interviewed her friends, people who were there. Now, some people claim that he was there at the hotel. They got video footage allegedly of a man that resembled him. But he said he was in New York, and only God knows. And the people involved, they know, and hopefully the truth will come out. The truth will come out. But my thing is we got to be very careful in this day and age, because COINTELPRO is really on steroids right now, because the social media is COINTELPRO. You got all types of people just dry snitching on themselves, telling a lot of mistruth, a lot of disinformation. Y'all gotta understand that even in this world, as in the world of old, The lie travel faster than the truth. Lies in the window. Gossip will travel faster than truth and facts, especially in the social media world like this. So with that said, I don't know if he was there that night, but I do know that he interviewed family, friends, acquaintances, and other people that were involved in that case. He let other people not on the ground in Chicago, not there at the Crown Plaza, not in Illinois, get a glimpse into what was going on. And it's unfortunate that a lot of times we're living in a world that, yeah, we have access to information and knowledge, but do we have the capacity to understand, to not only disseminate the information, but to understand, to critically think and analyze what we're receiving? And a lot of times I don't feel like we have that capability. So it's dangerous. You live in a world where people will start to manifest these narratives where the gossip is the gospel truth, where we create, where we manifest a world where gossip becomes the gospel truth, and that people are tried in the court of public opinion, where people have this type of lynch mob mentality. From my understanding, on the day of his funeral, that Zack's best friend, one of his acquaintances, close friends, was assassinated, was killed, was murdered in the Chicago streets, was found on the day of his funeral, this past Saturday. This guy named King T Street. I believe I got his name right. Let me make sure I check. Yeah, King T Street was a close friend. My understanding, he used to help Zack set up these exclusive interviews. I mean, going to these, rough neighborhoods, hoods, and talk with the, these guys was not just rappers. He was like, he was, letting people in an introduction to the Chicago gang style, the gang life in Chicago, which is notorious. But he had a ground zero approach to letting the world know about how to get down to Chicago. So he was in there with the gangsters and the thugs and the rappers and the artists. It's the cold culture, man. He had no fear. He was fearless. He's like Black Vice. Yeah, I know y'all love Vice TV and Vice, but he was his own one-man Vice going in Chicago. Not only, glamour, he wasn't glamorizing the life, but he was letting y'all know that it was real out there in the streets, and that, that also that these people were human. They were not just cartoons or characters. They were real people with real problems and with real hopes and dreams and aspirations. So he humanized the black culture, the youth culture in Chicago. He didn't demonize them. He didn't criminalize them. He humanized our people. I'm talking about our people. I mean black people. I'm black. I'm not a crayon, but you know how it goes. But anyway, yeah. I saw his mom. I saw some of her social media posts. And you could tell she was hurting. She's a grieving mother. She said some things about somebody, and she didn't name the name, but people start trying to connect what she said with what allegedly happened to this guy named King T Street. So people claiming on social media that he was involved. I don't know, but I just know we all have our day, and that you just gotta be careful, man. Like whatever you put out there, you get back, whether it be good or bad. Karma's real. I'm not saying that he did or did not do. It's like I don't know if brother Zack was involved in Kanika Jones outside of this reporting a different perspective on the story by interviewing her acquaintances. I don't know if he was actually there that night, but only God can judge him now, because I don't have the evidence or expertise to know. And hopefully if we pray at noon, may the truth come out on what happened to Sister Kanika Jones and brother Zack TV and King T Streets. Like, people talking about Pusha T and Drake, but look what's going on in Chicago. These rap beefs, these are like street beefs, rap beefs, excuse me. Yeah, Mubu Crump, King, I believe, was killed. These guys be in Chicago. I don't know that culture like, drill rappers, right? Chief Keef. I remember what happened to Little JoJo, some years ago. I think Derrick Rose, the basketball star, paid for his funeral. But these guys be taking the beef stuff to a next level. They take it to it's like amplified Tupac, Biggie, and people talking about Pusha T and Drake. These guys they Hollywood compared to what these cats are doing in Chicago. Cause these guys, they get on dissing each other on rap tracks and social media, and next thing you know, one of them get killed, the other one laughing and bragging about it. Then the next day they get killed. Everybody's getting killed. It's like the Wild Wild West out there. If I go by what I'm seeing in social media and what happened to Zack TV, it's unfortunate. So we got to protect our storytellers. Zack TV, people talking about Anthony Bourdain and people mourning him, saying he's just a great storyteller. Well, Zack TV was a hell of a storyteller. He was a great storyteller. He told those stories. He told a lot of stories. And for it not to get the coverage that Anthony Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain is a big white mainstream celebrity and, beloved and, influential, but Zack TV in his own way was very influential and beloved by his community. In spite of what happened to him on May 30th, he provided an opportunity, a platform. He wanted everybody to get some. He wanted everybody to make it his thing. He's like, we all got to do it. We village, y'all. If I'm eating, you can eat too. Like, it should have been inspirational to meet somebody like that who basically just had the courage of his convictions, and went out there and manifested his platform to not only help himself, but to serve the community. I mean, how could you replace somebody like that? To me, it's like what Robert Abbott did to start Chicago Defender. Robert Abbott, the founder of Chicago Defender, he basically started Chicago Defender at the kitchen table of his landlord back in, I believe, 1905, and the rest is history. Same thing with John H. Johnson, who was from Arkansas, but he started Negro Digest and Ebony, all that stuff, with a loan from his mama. I think it was like $500, I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I forgot the name, but just look up John H. Johnson. Oprah went to Chicago and started her media empire there. So Zack TV, a son of Chicago, was doing what was tradition. He became involved in telling the stories of his people. He created a platform that provided news and another way for the message of his community to get out there. He was in the tradition of Robert Abbott, of John H. Johnson, and yes, of even Oprah, who all started their media empires in the sweet home Chicago. So I'm going to give him his props. Like I said, I didn't know the brother in life. It would have been great to meet somebody like him. I could have learned a lot from him. I mean, he was 30 years young. I'm 38, but, each one teach one. Sharpen, still, whatever. But what I'm saying is that we got to appreciate Brother Zack, people like Brother Zack while they're here. The storyteller needs to have their story told as well. They need to get their flowers. They need to have their music where they can hear it while they're here. It's sad. We don't really know the full impact this brother had on Chicago yet. We don't know, a lot of people, would they have gotten any notoriety if a person like Zack didn't care enough to go out in the streets and risk his own life to make a livelihood and to make a difference as well. So with that said, I just want to send out blessings to the family, especially to his mom who's grieving right now. I want my people to live and to heal. We got to start healing, and we got to stop letting these people use us as guinea pigs and lab rats to lead to their gain and to our own self-destruction. I'm going to tell you another thing about Chicago. Chicago has always been a testing ground, a laboratory of sorts. For example, the machine gun, World War I ended before they could actually use the machine gun. So one of the first places the machine gun was used was in Prohibition Chicago. For drive-bys. It wasn't black folks doing the drive-bys. It was ethnic white people, the Italians and the Irish and the Jewish gangsters of Chicago doing the drive-bys. And they were using machine guns. See, Chicago has always been a testing ground for weapons. And for other experimentation. And you look at clips of Fred Hampton Sr. talking about how they were doing organ harvesting back then. He was talking about this back in the late 60s. How some area hospitals were human, organ harvesting black people's body parts. So this Sherman Fred Sr. was hipped on that back then. So let me not get too carried away. I already talked enough. But thank you all. If you love the words from Brother Herd, please spread the word. Subscribe to We All Be TV. support the movement by any means, feel free to give a one-time or recurring donation at our PayPal. It's tax deductible. The We All Be Group Incorporated. The We All Be Group Incorporated, once again, is a non-profit 501c3. So we're doing work in the hood as well as doing stuff online. So we doing all this stuff. We doing our own thing, but we do it for the people, for the love of our people. And you can also buy and wear Artivist art. Hang it up. R2C2H2.com. That's the official website for R2C2H2 the Artivist. We also got t-shirts for sale with my artwork on it. And we're just trying to raise not only the consciousness and the wokeness of our people, but we're trying to raise some money so we can keep on going. Because gas out here is high. The rent is too damn high. Everything is high right now. But let's make sure that we keep our expectations and our love high as well too. Let's keep on keeping on, people. Thanks once again for listening. In the words of the great Duke Ellington, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing.